Should have taken that serum.
You're a human being and you're doing your best. Steve gave people something to believe in, but you give them something to aspire to.
Did your speechwriters help you with that?
They did, yeah, the ending a little bit. Did you like it?
No, it was good. Solid B+.
Emotional,
Very. I felt it.
but just enough.
Yeah.
I'm going from state to state. You go to that state, you might get right. You might pull up Benjamin Franklin, Grayson Jackson, watch, stick on my plate. Go, hit him with it.
If he wants a sandwich,
You make Daddy a sandwich.
most of the time.
If you were a Disney princess, who would you be?
Cinderella, because she broke, homie. She represent me. Yo, let me borrow $20.
Welcome back to the channel. So this is part 2 of my Captain America Brave New World movie review. The part 1 was essentially a spoiler-free review. This is going to be full spoilers. So if you have not seen Captain America 4 and you do not want anything spoiled, save this video and come back and watch it later. But we are going to be doing full spoilers. I have a ton of notes and a ton of thoughts on this movie, and we're going to get to it. Before we do, please like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment on your thoughts about the movie and about what I've said here. I'm going to just come out and say that Captain America 4 was fine. Like, it was fine. You know, Anthony Mackie, he's a fine Captain America. Harrison Ford, he's a fine President Ross. He did really good as Red Hulk. He did pretty good as a villain. The side characters were okay. But for this to be the 7th movie in the MCU, for this to be the 7th project that Anthony Mackie has been in, and for this to be his first lead, this has to be better than fine. Like, Marvel has been doing movies for almost 20 years. They have all of the money and resources in the world, unlimited resources, unlimited access to the best writers, directors, CGI, special effects. They have everything at their fingertips. And for the 4th Captain America movie, for it to be fine is a problem for me. Like, I'm no longer accepting average movies from a studio that wasn't built on just average movies. Like, it was built on great movies, like the first Iron Man, the first 3 Captain Americas, Thor 3, Black Panther, the Avengers movies. Like, why are we okay with accepting just a movie that's fine? Like, I'm kind of over that. Like, the standard is the standard, and the standard was set by Kevin Feige, by the MCU. And Captain America 4, I guess I want to be clear. Captain America 4 is not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's fine. But that is not the standard anymore. The standard was up here, and they are slowly trying to lower the standard and lower the quality of the product, and I'm not going to sit here and accept that. Now, when it comes to being, like, positive about this movie, I will say it again, like, the stars were stars. Like, Anthony Mackie, I thought he really brought it as Captain America. Like, he was believable as Captain America. He looked good in his outfit, in the with the shield, the action scenes. He looked good. He had his own charisma. Everything about that. Harrison Ford, who I didn't think was a great actor, really brought it too. Like, he brought a lot of gravitas and showed a lot of emotion. And the transformation scenes, the fight scenes, everything, they were good. But there's just a lot of negatives and things that could have been better in this movie that they really just left on a cutting room floor, just didn't try hard enough. Like, when you have Gus Fring, the actor that plays Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, as Sidewinder, and he's kind of forgettable as a villain, that's a problem. Like, that is what he is known for in the TV and movie space, as being one of the great character actors that's a villain. And he was just kind of wasted in this movie. Even the main villain, the leader, like, nothing really felt real. It felt forced. I didn't feel like we earned any of the payoffs. And I was going to talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about it now since I'm thinking about it. First off, this movie, Captain America 4, felt like a sequel to the Edward Norton Hulk movie without the Hulk in it. Like, that's the main movie you needed to see to watch this movie. But President Ross blamed the leader for all the stuff that happened between the Hulk and the Abomination. Everything that happened in that moment, he blamed on the leader, put him in jail for it, and made him suffer and all these things. Knowing all of that, why would President Ross take medication from that person? The person whose life you ruined, who you have imprisoned, you're now taking life-saving medication from that person, blindly taking life-saving medication from that person. Why would you do that? That is a plot hole that does not make sense. You are taking medication from the person that you put in prison and blamed for the violence enacted by the Hulk and Abomination. You blamed him for all of that, but yet and still, yes, I have a heart problem. And I'm going to take medication from you because you're now the smartest person in the world. I can't call Tony Stark for this. I can't call Bruce Banner for this. I can't call any of the smart people out here to run a test on the medication that I'm taking from the guy that I ruined, whose life I ruined. Like, no, it's little things like that after you like leave the theater and think about the movie and you come down off of the high of seeing a Marvel movie and you just like think like, why would anybody do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, none whatsoever. And I will say, and going back to some of the side characters, the new Falcon, I saw, and I'm one of the people that watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the TV show, and I enjoyed the TV show. I thought it was great. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it, could have been better in some spots. But here's kind of the problem with like the TV show and the movies, and I guess how it connects. I did not care about him. I did not care about the Falcon, the new Falcon, whatever his name was. I'm drawing a blank on what his name was, but I did not care. I did not feel like that relationship was I feel like I didn't have a close enough relationship with that character to really care. In the scene where he gets shot out of the sky, there wasn't a moment where I was like, oh man, I hope nothing happens to him. Like when I remember when Bucky gets shot out of the sky in Civil War, there's a moment where he hits the ground and it's like, well, not Bucky, Colonel Rhodes gets shot out of the sky, and there's a moment where you're thinking, this is a big deal. Like, we could lose one of the main guys from this movie. And I felt something there. I felt nothing while he was falling out of the sky. And I was like, I mean, he might die, he might live, but I mean, who cares really? And I've watched the show. I watched him. He was in 5 episodes out of the 7, I think. And yeah, who cares? And it's the thing where the reason why a lot of people, including myself, didn't care about the new Falcon, the last time we saw that character was in 2021. It is now 2025. A lot of people didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So they're seeing this character for the first time. There is no connection there. There is none. And what hurt that connection even more was the cameo with Bucky Barnes. Like, they introduced Bucky while the new Falcon is getting surgery. And the entire time Sam Wilson and Bucky are communicating and talking with each other, the only thing I could think about is I wanted these two guys to be in the movie together. This is a relationship that I care about. This partnership. These guys as a duo. This is what I want to see. It's almost like, and this is no disrespect, but it's like Kobe Bryant talking with Pau Gasol. They're hanging out, playing around, or they're at the game and they're playing the Miami Heat and you see Shaq. And it's like, yeah, Kobe and Pau are cool. Like that's a good duo. That's a good enough duo to win. But Kobe and Shaq, that was special. That was a dominant, duo, tandem. They were winners. Like, they were the top of the top, peak. And now we just get Kobe and Paul. Not saying they're bad, but it's not Kobe and Shaq. It's not on that level. And that was a problem with showing Bucky in this movie while Falcon is on the surgery table. And it's like, why weren't you here? We could have used you instead. And some of the things with this new Captain America, and I might have to go back and rewatch some of the old, the original Captain America movies and Avengers movies, but it just kind of seemed like Sam Wilson used his shield, just spammed throwing the shield. Like, for any situation that occurred, there's guys in front of me, throw the shield. The Hulk is punching me, use the shield. There's missiles flying at me, throw the shield. That was his main way to get out of any sort of situation. And like I said, maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe I just don't remember. And maybe Steve Rogers threw the shield just as often as Sam threw the shield. But it just seemed like for every situation, anytime any issue came upon Sam Wilson, the solution was use the shield, throw it or hold it up. That was it. And if you can't use the shield, use the power of talking people off of the ledge, because he used to, talk to soldiers with PTSD. So that is like his main superpowers. I'm going to use the power of friendship, motivational speeches to talk you off of the ledge. Because at the end of the day, he did not beat Red Hulk. He just talked to him and got him to change his mind. After all of that, hey, buddy, sun's getting real low. Hey, big fella, let's come off down. Let me talk you off of the ledge, even though you're a rage monster. So that kind of annoying. And the few questions that I had watching throughout this movie, why doesn't Sam take the super soldier serum? What are the negative effects of it? Because we know that we saw that in Captain and the Winter Soldier, and we saw in the first Captain America that if you take the super soldier serum, what it is going to do is it's going to enhance who you really are. So if you're a good, pure-hearted, want to do the right thing kind of person, like Steve Rogers was, it just enhances that and makes you a better person in that aspect. Or if you're someone like John Walker, who can be vindictive, cruel, mean, arrogant, it just kind of expands or expounds upon those characteristics about yourself and takes you to a totally negative, darker side of yourself. Sam Wilson is closer to Steve Rogers than he is to John Walker. So if Sam Wilson takes the super soldier serum, he becomes a better version of himself. He doesn't go to the dark side. There's literally zero reason for him to not take the super soldier serum. So that part kind of bothered me throughout the movie. It's like, I should have took the super soldier serum. Yeah, you should have, because there was no reason not to. And Bucky Barnes being, running for Senate or running to be a congressman, I feel like maybe 10 years ago, I think that is a crazy idea. But this is coming from, someone that lives in a country where the Terminator was voted to be the governor. We have wrestlers in office. We have reality stars as president. So I can't really do too much on that. But does Disney Plus matter? Do the Disney Plus shows matter anymore when it comes to watching them and with them connecting to the TV shows? Because the events in Secret Invasion should directly affect what happens in Captain America 4. There's the revelation that there are Skrulls everywhere. The former president declared war on aliens. What happened to that? What happened to the Super Skrull? Why is Colonel Rhodes just not mentioned at all? He works for the government. This movie is in DC. He's a government official. How come you can't get him on the phone? How come you can't mention him? Speaking of Captain America and the Winter Soldier TV show, Isaiah's grandson, where is he at? He's supposed to be one of the young Avengers. He gets no mention. We never see him. Nothing. So what is the point of putting out all these Disney Plus shows if when the movies come out and they should have a direct correlation with it, it is not mentioned at all? Marvel Studios and the TV shows, they have got to get on the same page with this, because it's like I feel like I'm wasting my time. There's no reason Colonel Rhodes shouldn't have been mentioned in Captain America 4. There's no reason that he shouldn't have been, there shouldn't have been an attempt to call him whatsoever. Who is in the Avengers right now? Who is left? Captain America's unavailable. Well, I mean, the original Captain America's unavailable. Tony Stark unavailable. Black Widow dead. Hawkeye retired. Ant-Man. Do you guys not remember Ant-Man 1? Who was in Ant-Man 1 as a cameo, as a recruiter for the Avengers? Sam Wilson. All these things are happening. Why not give Ant-Man a call? Not even a mention. And I'm going to go on a side note here, real quick. Sidebar. And this is where I feel like Marvel missed a golden opportunity to make these movies a lot better and raise the stakes for them. Originally, for Ant-Man 3, Scott Lang was supposed to die to Kang at the end. He was not supposed to make it out of the quantum realm. He was supposed to die. I'm not sure if Kang was supposed to make it out, but Scott Lang was supposed to die. Now imagine if Marvel stuck with that plan. If they're like, you know what? We're going to bite the bullet. Paul Rudd, you're out of here. We're going to kill you off. Maybe we'll bring you back later, but for now, you're dead. And now, Captain America 4 happens. And all throughout the movie, just make the movie exactly the same, but there are a few scenes here and there where Sam Wilson mentions, like, hey, you know, I know a smart guy. I know a guy who's, you know, a genius. He can help out here. He lives in San Francisco. Let me try to reach out to him. Or he sends a message to someone to say, hey, go find Scott Lang and have him come here immediately to deal with this problem. All throughout the movie, he's mentioning Scott Lang, Ant-Man. He can come out here. He can help. We could use him. And at the end of the movie, it's like, you know, I made it. I did it. I, you know, finished the job. Man, I wish Ant-Man was here. And in the movie, you get the credits. And then you get your end credit scene. And at the end, somebody, I don't know, make it Nick Fury. Make it the Wasp. Make it Scott Lang's daughter. They finally get a hold of Sam Wilson. Or they finally make it to DC. And they let him know, like, hey, Scott Lang is dead. And we are going to tell you what happened. Screen goes black. Now we have motivation for him, and we build up Kang the Conqueror as, oh, he's serious. This is not a villain to be played around with. And that was an opportunity that Disney missed out by letting Scott Lang live throughout that movie. I just think they just have to be better. Marvel has to be better considering everything that they have, everything that they've done. If you look at it, the budget for Captain America 4 was $180 million. $180 million to make this movie. Now, I'm not saying the movie looked bad, but when you consider how great movies like Shang-Chi was, $150 million budget. The Winter Soldier, $170 million budget. The first Doctor Strange, $165 million budget. Think about how good those movies are compared to Captain America 4, and Captain America 4 cost more money. That's what I mean when I talk about the standard is being lowered at Marvel. They're spending more money on mediocre to average movies when they used to, you know, have a smaller budget and make better movies. They made better movies with less money. And like I said, I don't want to shit on this movie too hard, because like I said, I did like it. I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. It's just not good enough, and Marvel needs to be better.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.